Hello, this is a UFO sighting which was recorded in October the 24th, 1967 by just have a look, Roger Willey and Clifford Waycott. They're both police constables, and they was in the motor car early morning, a chilly early morning. As you can imagine, October 24th it was, so just checking date. So it was quite cold. And some years ago, so probably heaters wasn't very well working fairly well in them days. You know, no air conditioning, maybe. So it all steamed up, so windows won't be that clear. That's what I'm thinking about it. But anyway, these were on the parked up, and they saw a huge bright light, and they describe it fully. Both police officers, like I say, so they're used to describing things and writing things down. Anyway, they looked at it quite some time, this UFO, and they describe it. I'm sure somewhere it says about 60 feet in length, which is similar to the one what people described in about the same year in Brixham. They said about 60 feet in length, down. So, and this was happened in Etherley to Oldsworthy in Devon. So it's not far from Brixham. Where the one was sighted for over an hour. So this is very, very similar. But anyway, these were looking at it bright light, and they've radioed it into the police headquarters at Oakhampton, and they sent extra PCs out to have a look. But these guys gave chase to it, and they described they were doing 90 miles per hour, which I guess, well, it's fast now. So in 1967. It must be nipping, let's be honest. And obviously, this thing was going quite some speed, but they described it was only going about 25 miles per hour, but in a straight line, so there was their car and to follow the bends and everything. Then said suddenly the speed just took off. Boom! It went like straight up like that and came straight back down, and then moved forward, then slowed down again and stopped. And sort of caught up with it, and it kept doing that for quite some time. So they really had a good job, view at it. The nearest they got to it was about 400 yards, and they describe it having lights and the dome shape and a dish shape. So that's fully as always. But when they started getting closer to it, and they actually got to it, this is where it got, I thought, a little bit better, because when they described it how they described to each other initially was that, but as they got to it, whether it was the brain cognitive thinking, but when they just got close to it, and what they wrote down was it's a cross shape. And I thought, oh, brilliant! I've never heard this. So they had a much better look at it, describe it from what they initially thought it was a dome shape. Maybe it was like that, to when they actually initially got closer to it and they described it as a cross shape with lots of lights. And that's when they really clearly could see it. So I thought that was excellent. And it wasn't just them what saw it. There's a chap from Luton, just wrote his name down, Christopher Garner. He'd had lots of witnesses, but he actually went to the police with it, and they took his statement and whatever he described it, and it matched up with the police officers, and he described it exactly the same, a bright cross with lots of little lights on, and it seemed to be changing colour. But he was on holiday at the time, and he was sleeping in his car, probably to save money. Travel from Luton, so he thought, well, I'll rest over, and then he just happened to see this same as time as the police officers. So yeah, it's unusual, but it's actually described as a spangled cross. That's what I've wrote down here. But it's again both the Mr. Garner and the police officers describe the agility of it. Everywhere, which way, which is, we always hear this though, and agility of it. But it's massively description of a few people. It wasn't just those that saw it though. There was other people, but I don't think they described it as fully, or didn't want to keep going with it. These went to the media, it went to the police, it went to the TV, obviously, and it went everywhere really. So it was well documented. And the two police constables in 2004 got interviewed again, and both of them stuck to the same story. Literally, there wasn't after any money or writing books. Just got a media presenter just got interested in it. Came 2020, 2004, interviewed them both, and they both sat together and both said exactly the same. Yes, it's true. It was there. So they stuck to the story, and I see no reason not to believe them. Again, who would say such a story as that? We wouldn't, would we? Unless we saw it. You wouldn't put your neck out as such. So yeah, brilliant. Again, it's chasing a police car chasing after a UFO. There's a few of these around. That's in England, and I'm sure there's thousands of them around the world, and what we don't even hear about. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to check it up, it's called Devon UFO Cross. I shall put on the title anyway. But there's quite a bit of information out there, a lot more information than I'm gonna. Well, I don't want to spend 2 hours going on about it. It's just a quick brief. But I thought you might enjoy that because I do. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you. God bless.